It's raining outside today, so I was gonna fly the drone, but that obviously didn't work. We went to a show last night and I lost my voice because I'm not used to like speaking over a loud PA. It's been a while, so that's why my voice sounds kinda weird. So today, I figured we would talk about something that is pretty important to my profession. It's a big part of what I actually have to do to make my drums sound good, and that is drum keys. Drum keys play a huge part because obviously if you can't tune your drums, then they're not gonna sound good. And if they don't sound good, that's just not fun for anybody. So we're gonna talk about drum keys today, right now. My voice sounds so weird. Not quite low enough to be Darth Vader, like, Luke, I am your father. It's like that weird, awkward middle ground where I just sound like, drum keys. Doing that actually really hurt because this guy landed right on my ankle. Yeah, today we're talking about drum keys and what ones I use most frequently, and honestly what ones I don't really use and why I don't really use them. If you're a drummer, obviously you're gonna need a drum key to tune drums. And there are so many options out there. I mean, they range from like every size that you could imagine, every like little new spin on it, no pun intended, this guy spins, that you could think of. And it can be kind of daunting for something that you would honestly just, if you're like me, that you just lose and go through like tic-tacs all the time. With that, I have a couple that I kind of gravitate towards, or a couple that I prefer over other ones, and a few reasons why. So I picked 5 of, honestly, the ones that I had on hand. I have a lot more than 5, but these 5 are what I currently had in my backpack, so I figured I would talk about those and why they made their way there. Some of them I intentionally put there, some of them kind of just found their way in there. Anyway, so the first drum key is going to be this guy. I'm not completely sure where I got it. I know I have like 3 or 4 of these. It's just your basic drum key with a little hole in the center, so you can put like on a keychain or a key ring or whatever. I actually used this in high school a lot. Before I got the one that I currently have on my keys. And it's great. I mean, I still use this one all the time. I have, like I said, I have a couple of these because they're like super cheap. You can get them for like $2 or something like that, which is great if you lose your drum keys all the time like me, because they're not too expensive to replace. So it's great. It fits on all drums. A lot of times this like barrel right here, depending on the drum that you're trying to tune, the barrel won't fit if it's too fat, which is one of the reasons why on one of the drum keys I'm gonna show you, that's the reason why I don't use it, is because this barrel is too fat. But this one fits on most drums, or every drum that I've tried, and it works great. I mean, you know, it tunes the drum. Next one. The next guy is going to be, this was actually a gift, but he spins. Isn't that cool? So this guy is like, it's kind of like a torque kind of tool type of thing, and it only spins in one direction, so it spins this way, but it doesn't spin this way, which is good, because that's the way you turn the drum to loosen the head. And the whole idea, if my hand was like the drum lug or whatever, put it on there and you twist, twist, twist. So you can kind of have this motion, but you're not like twisting backwards, you're only twisting in one direction, which is really cool. I mean, super innovative. I use this guy when I'm taking drum heads off. Other than that, I don't really use him, and that's just the way I tune drums. I like to twist back and forth to kind of find the sweet spot in the drum before I tune it to the note, and a lot of times that process is done with one drum key because I'm crunched for time, or I just don't want to spend all that time on it. But for taking drums off, it's great. Very, and it's just fun to spin too. It's like a fidget spinner for drummers. Next drum key. So this guy is, it's an Evans drum key I got years and years ago. There's a couple of things that are cool and I like about it, and there's a couple of things that I don't like, and it's honestly the reason why this guy doesn't get used very often. Let's go with the things that I do like. So this guy has a magnet inside of him, so you can like slap it on the drum and it just stays there and doesn't move. So when you're playing a set, it's just always gonna be on that one specific lug, and you know it's not like really gonna run away or anything else. I love that. I wish other drum keys had that kind of innovation in their drum key. Second thing that I love is this grooved piece right here. Lets you spin the drum really, really easy. So it makes like taking drum heads off and stuff really, really fast and really efficient. Another thing that I like is how it's kind of curved, so it's really comfortable to spin the drum key, so that's great. There's one thing that I don't like, and that's the reason I don't use this drum key at all. Remember when the first drum key I talked about the barrel being too thick on some drum keys and I can't use that on my drums? Well, this guy is a prime example of that. So perspective, here's the high school drum key that I used. Here's this guy. Way, way, way thicker. So that is the reason why he literally, I don't use him at all. He just sits in the bottom of my backpack, and he's just a, if I have nothing else, I guess I'll use you drum key. Which sucks. I mean, if they made it smaller, this guy would probably be one of my main drum keys that I use, but it's fine. This leads us to the two that I use the most and I prefer to use if I have an option. First guy is going to be the drum key that's just on my keys. So here's my keys right here. It's my drum key. This is made by Tackle, and I got this years and years ago. So the cool thing about this guy is it's just a regular drum key, super small, and it comes with this little like harness thing, and you put it in there like that, and he just sits in the little thing. And it comes with this cool little brass key thing, so I loop that on my belt loop, and it's just all conveniently on my keys. So I always have this guy, and because of that, I use this guy probably the most out of every drum key, purely because this is always with me because it's attached to my keys. But it's a great drum key, and if you are on the market for something like this, I'd highly recommend Tackle and their drum keys because they're great. And the harness is leather, so like I've had mine, like I said, for a couple of years now. So it's like the leather's nice and worn in, which is great. Highly recommend it. Great drum key. And lastly, my favorite drum key. I actually have two of them because they're so great. And it's just this DW drum key. Super simplistic. This is like a rubber handle type of thing. The little barrel thing isn't too thick, so it fits on every single drum. The reason I like this one the most is because it's longer than other drum keys, but it's not too long, because when these handles are too long, you can't really feel the drum as much. And when you're tuning a drum, a lot of it is like the feel of the tension, and you want to be able to like kind of feel what's going on with the drum. And with this guy, it's like the perfect amount of like torque, because I can still get the drum pretty tight, or I can still like twist the drum head off pretty quickly if I need to. And a lot of that's because of this rubber right here, but also it's because of the width of this, because when I'm trying to twist this, your finger just tends to kind of slide off. Versus this guy, it doesn't really slide. I mean, granted, I'm spinning it in my hand, but this guy doesn't really slide off very often. So, and it's just, I mean, I feel like I could run this over. Well, I could probably run most of these over and they'd be fine. But I feel like this guy's the most robust and the toughest, which for me is great because it's gonna be in the bottom of a backpack, in the bottom of a Pelican, on the floor at a venue, gonna fall off a riser, which it's done all of that stuff and it's been fine. And it's great. I mean, there's a little bit of weight to it, so you like don't really, it doesn't feel like a toy. Like this one's a little light for me. It's like, this feels good in the hand. It feels like there's a weight, there's something there. And yeah, this is my favorite drum key. I'll put a link to this guy and the other ones, if I can find them, on Amazon down below if you want to check them out. That's a couple of the drum keys I have. Like I said, very important, probably not the most interesting thing. These are just my thoughts on what I like in a drum key and what I look for in a drum key and why I look for them in a drum key. With that, I'm gonna call the video here. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. And hit the like button too, that'll help me out. And if you're in the market for a drum key, or you're looking, or anything like that, leave a comment down below on what drum keys you're looking at, or what ones you think you'd like or you do like. I'd love to hear from you guys. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video. I feel like my voice just, it's not getting better. It's been a couple hours since I woke up and it's still just, it's toast.